Hello, my name is Nicholas Woodstone, and this is going to be a video going over a discussion that I had with a community member of the American Federal Civil Defense Administration that I had earlier today. That would be their Facebook page, and this is the messages that I had within the short time frame of communicating with them. The first question that I asked was, I was just trying to get some more information as far as needing to prepare and other information that could help me just get an all-around cumulative information about nuclear fallout. He was able to provide me with Bert the Turtle, instructional videos, as well as other websites, other links. And this right here is the Dallas Community Shelter Plan. So this is published on the Civil Defense Museum.com website, and from there you would be able to see everything that Dallas would do in order to make preparations and take shelter in time of nuclear fallout. The next question I had was livable conditions. What were the deemed adequate livable conditions of fallout shelters back in the 50s and going into the 60s? Unfortunately, he was not able to provide me with specific details over the living conditions just because each shelter was constructed differently based on the location and the space available. He was able to provide me a link, and this was going over a experimental study that took place out of the University of Georgia over a span of 2 weeks. Looking over the experimental study, I did notice some important factors within that study. The first off, a person was only deemed 8 feet of cubic space per person. So that was an extreme amount of space crammed in for a shelter, especially for a family shelter. So these are just some visuals that he provided me. Both of these are going to be typical standard family fallout shelters. And the second image is actually a fallout shelter demonstration located in the Civil Defense Museum. Going into the other question that I had a question about what was being stocked within these shelters as far as canned goods, water, and other supplies. So he provided me with this image of survival crackers because this was a popular food item back when the CD was stocking shelters. This survival cracker pretty much overtook any other survival food tactic besides carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are nothing but candy, and this is what they seemed deemable at the start of needing to prepare for nuclear warfare. So this is another image just of a fallout shelter being stocked with all of those boxes like I mentioned, and this is going to be the carbohydrates that would also be stocked within these shelters. Again, it's just a tin full of nothing but candy, which I understand, candy has a lot of sugar and it gives you energy, but I just didn't see that as effective for needing to be stored for nuclear warfare. Considering that these shelters are nearly 70 years old now, are they still deemed reliable today if we were to need them? He wasn't specific with his answer that he gave me, but he did say that with the resources that we have at our disposal now, the fallout shelters would be more durable and reliable to withstand nuclear radiation and nuclear fallout. This just goes on to explain a little bit more into detail of, again, new basement family shelters. So the last question I had for them was, since our predecessors didn't have the materials that we had today, Would it be more beneficial for the people to have these shelters torn down and reconstructed, or would the people be able to trust that the current shelters would protect them? He answered by saying reinforced steel, reinforced concrete, a reinforced steel door. All of these kind of benefactors have a huge impact on the durability of the shelter.